On April 25th, the neighborhood of Paydhuni was just another crowded, noisy night in Mumbai. Inside his home, 40-year-old Abdullah Dokadia had just hosted guests for a biryani dinner. After the guests left, he, his wife, and their 2 daughters shared a watermelon for a late midnight snack. At 5:30 the next morning, the apartment was in chaos. All 4 family members woke up simultaneously with severe vomiting and diarrhea. Within hours of arriving at JJ Hospital, all 4 had died. With no obvious signs of foul play at the scene, police filed an accidental death report. To those looking at the timeline, it appeared to be a catastrophic but accidental case of household food poisoning. As the news spread, panic hit the city markets. People began avoiding watermelons entirely, fearing a batch of contaminated fruit was responsible for the deaths. To confirm the source, the FDA entered the Dokadia home and seized 11 different samples of food and water for chemical analysis. The results from the laboratory testing provided the first major contradiction in the case. The biryani, the chicken, the water, and the watermelon itself were all clean. They contained no artificial colors, no unauthorized chemicals, and no detectable toxins. If every item in the house was medically safe, the investigation had to explain how a healthy family died simultaneously. While the kitchen samples were cleared, the medical examiner's post-mortem autopsies began to reveal a different story. Doctors discovered that the victim's internal organs, specifically the brain, heart, and intestines, had turned a stark, unnatural green. Standard bacterial food poisoning does not cause this type of internal discoloration. It pointed the examiners toward a highly lethal, exotic toxin. Toxicology reports then revealed a second anomaly. Traces of morphine were found inside Abdullah's system. Morphine is a restricted, prescription-only narcotic. Abdullah had no medical reason for the drug to be in his system. The presence of restricted narcotics and a toxin that leaves organs stained green suggests a calculated chemical assassination, not an accident. A new lead emerged when a woman from Jogeshwari approached the police with a specific motive for the poisoning. She detailed a 2019 dispute over a 25 lakh rupee cash transaction between her and a local builder. Abdullah Dokadia had been the mediator who physically delivered that money to the builder. Abdullah was scheduled to be the key witness in court this year, and he had already promised to testify with the truth about the transaction. His testimony would have provided the evidence needed to jail the builder, making his death a way to silence a whistleblower before the trial could begin. Because the food was clean, the watermelon likely had nothing to do with the delivery of the poison. This leaves the police with a significant gap. They do not yet know how the lethal green toxin and morphine were introduced to the family inside their home. Investigators are now reviewing digital records and waiting on the Kalina Forensic Lab to identify the exact chemical cocktail used. Determining the method of administration is the remaining step required to legally link the builder to the family's death. The Paydhuni case demonstrates a high level of criminal planning designed to hide the signs of a murder. By utilizing a toxin that mimicked the symptoms of food poisoning, the crime took on the appearance of a natural tragedy, diverting early investigative efforts. It is a case where financial interests and complex toxicology intersect to challenge the reach of the justice system. The outcome now depends on whether advanced science can identify the toxin and provide enough evidence to hold the responsible parties accountable. The most effective assassinations are those engineered to look like a simple domestic accident.